Hello, 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 hello. It is Monday. It is Monday and it's time for another stream. And today we have something new and exciting. Last week we finished the character. Oh, hold on. Immediately, hold on. It could be, let me just quickly check something. But yeah, today we're going to do something new. We're going to begin. Last week we started, we started the Final Fantasy action figurine character, or I guess, yeah, figurine model. And we finished the character body last week. So today we're going to begin with the clothing. At least the, I guess the first layer, let's say. So yeah, last week we finished the body. We retopologized it at the end, so the body's completely ready. So now we can get back to the fun stuff after retopology, of course. I would consider retopology something cool, let's say. But, you know, it has to be done. Thank you, Judge Judy Slayer. Thank you for following. Hope you enjoy the stream if you're currently here. Thank you. And welcome. Yeah, so last week we finished the body, as I said, 3 times now. And today we will begin modeling the clothing. What I mean by that is with the first layer, if you look at the character, we're going to look at that later, we will see that there are basically 2 layers. The first layer is basically the symmetrical armor, leather armor, that has like, okay, well, he has 2 arm braces, one on the left side and one on the other. It's basically symmetrical on the first layer. And then on the next one, it is more that he, for example, has like this cloak that hangs over to the right side more than the left side, for example, or of course his hat isn't perfectly symmetrical. So stuff like that would be the next layer, which we would add after basically rigging the character and also posing the character. So the next step after we've added the first layer of clothing would be rigging and, you know, posing. Then we can go into the next step, which would be the last few clothing pieces, and then we can go into texturing. Welcome back. Credo si importancia. If one day you feel bad, remember that once a teacher asked me to do my autobiography. Hold on. Autobiography. When she handed it in, she reads it and told me that everything was wrong. Nice. I remember that. Okay, first of all, let's finish the intro. If you see this as a YouTube video later, and you want to just see one of these topics, you know, maybe the modeling the leather armor for the character, or the 30-minute quick sketch, you can see timestamps in the description or also in the timeline. Let's get back to the first topic, which is the 30-minute quick sketch. And today we're not modeling something, I guess, a creature, but more another object of nature, which is a tree. Yeah, so I'm gonna put the image in here, and then you'll see what I mean. This one, I wanted to do something, you know, different than just creatures. So today we have something more still natural, but not alive. You could say it's still alive, but you know what I mean. I remember we had so you know, in art class and in like music class, you have the topic of interpreting someone like an artist's work for what they mean with what they write, for example, or what they painted, with like, oh, what kind of feeling they wanted to portray and all that stuff. And I remember that the moment where I basically said like, okay, well, hold on. Excuse me. this will never be something I'm gonna be ever interested in or I'll ever be good at. Was when um, I, what was it? There wasn't like a poem or like a musical poem, and I read it and I went through like the entire thing and kind of interpreted everything fit perfectly together. I was like so sure of it. I was raising my hand like starting to explain what I think it is, and then I explain everything like perfectly. It all fits together, at least in my mind. Maybe for others it didn't. And then at the end it's like, well, I finished my sentence and basically like the teacher was like, well, I don't think that's it. And it's like, well, I guess then interpretation always has a specific answer, I guess. And that was basically the moment where I just said like, well, this is not something that interests me anymore, Interpretation, kind of implies that it's sort of subjective, I guess. Or there are different solutions. And it kind of felt like the teacher just kind of, read his paper and said like, well, it's not on the paper, so it doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. So it was like weird. Or maybe I was just too ignorant afterwards to, pay attention anymore to maybe understand why my theory was flawed. It could also be the situation. I don't know. But after that moment, I was like, well, I guess this topic doesn't interest me anymore. Okay. Welcome back, Hustler. Hope you have enjoyed your Monday and also your weekend. Oh, I just realized this will be interesting because we don't have symmetry necessarily. There could be one area of symmetry. Let me see if we can actually... Yeah, I think we can use symmetry in this. Okay. The teacher was fired because of you. Oh no. What did you do? I don't even know what you could do. Showed everyone their incompetency. For me, art class was always just like... So I was in So I had like 12 classes or 12 years of school from, of course, 1 to 12. And the last two, 11 and 12, we had to kind of elect topics that we wanted to, or classes that we wanted to, I guess, put more weight on, or, oh, hold on. We wanted to put, what do you call it? It's like, they're like your 5 main, I guess, topics that the grades have more impact, and I think you have more classes in there and all that stuff. What I had was, for example, art, and art, it's similar to like language, that it's just kind of, I guess, subjective sometimes if you get a good grade or not. If maybe not the teacher likes you, although I had that in biology, but it was more. I think, especially with art, and you have, for example, like a topic with, well, design your wedding dress or whatever, then I think it's always kind of dependent on what the teacher likes. If you kind of, hit that topic or not, whether or not you get a good grade or not. Of course, most teachers probably try to be neutral in their, opinion, but I think it still kind of seeps through in the end. Okay. No stalling. We want to finish this tree, so let's get in here. Timer's ready. I am ready. Hopefully you are ready as well. The sphere is ready to be transformed. Yeah, we can begin. And that is in 3, 2, 1, go. There you go. Perfect. Okay, let's begin. So my idea was basically to slice through the big sort of stump or trunk at the bottom as a... What happened? No alerts? Hold on. Oh, I disabled it. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Oh no. Beans. What the frick? What the fuck? I'm not, trying to be kids friendly or whatever necessarily. Welcome, thank you for the follow. Hope you enjoy the content. If you're here, hope you enjoy the stream. Okay. Yeah. So I think overall, I think stuff like, so what I kind of gathered was it was like language, it was art, and it was kind of music. Maybe not necessarily, because music can be quite technical, but especially these two topics, they can be quite subjective when it comes to writing a story or trying to, um, do stuff like that. Writing a story or trying to, I don't even know what you call that, like interpreting or stuff like where you don't really have an exact answer. You just kind of have to rely on what you learned in class to write something good on the paper, I guess, or to come to a good conclusion that the teacher might like. Those are all the topics that I didn't really like. That's also why I had the choice between English. No, I had the choice between math or language, like German. I guess in the USA or England it would be like English, but language, that's what I called that. And it was pretty. Hold on. Yeah, it was it was just always like a topic that I never really. Basically, I elected the topics that I wanted to focus on based on if I could predict whether or not I can get a good grade after I finished the the exam, basically. And so, German. I mean, yeah, basically, language wasn't really in that bucket. Long story, but this I made him some models and animations in Blender. Okay, here. That no one here uses. That's the one I started using. It was a boom, and then he promised me things that did not happen, like some signatures. He did it for free and talked to other teachers about this. And you see two teachers fighting in the yard. Hold on. Oh no, I need to. Okay, there. I need to resist the distraction while also trying to read your your story. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna switch between this and the reading. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so I always try to just kind of gamble, I guess. I never really was good in school necessarily, so it was always just kind of, trying to get through, in a certain way. And the best way to get through is to be able to predict whether or not you get a good grade, or what you can do to get a good grade, rather than just inherently being good at it, I guess. I don't even know how you would train for languages when it comes to like high grade stuff in the higher grades. Maybe there's something, but all we ever did was just do. I guess repeat until you understand it, but that didn't really help me. Well, given I didn't really do homework that much either, so I guess it was my fault mostly. Okay, let's say I made him some models and animations in Blender. You know that no one here uses that. So when I started using it, it was the boom. Oh, okay. And he promised me things that did not have, like some signatures. He did. I could do it for free. And talk to other teachers about this, and you see two teachers fighting in the yard. I think they should teach the children Blender in all schools. I think they should at least make them aware of it, similar to how they, at least in my school, teach what is it, like programming in a certain. At least it was like an electable class, I guess you could say. I don't know what to call those in English. And I think 3D or generally art. I don't think the art that you learn in school is necessarily the art that most people like. I think what most people like more is the sort of self-expression, I guess you could say, which doesn't really happen in class, in school. It's more just following the. It's similar to comparing my work at when I at work, comparing that to this, for example. At work, I basically just follow the order. For example, the as a graphic designer, I follow the order or the wishes of the client. I can't really do sometimes at the beginning because oftentimes the client just doesn't know what he wants. You can kind of give him some drafts or some ideas, some some sketches, what you think could be good, and then afterwards it's basically just following the order, maybe giving some advice, but overall just if the client doesn't like it, then what can you do? You just do what they like mostly, and then it isn't really that fulfilling, I guess. It's more about doing than thinking, let's say. Okay, I'm trying to kind of get this sort of comic feel in here, this stylized rock look. Of course, it probably doesn't look that great in the end, but at least we could try. What I do basically is I try to nail, or I try to draw in some sharp edges with my, what is it, crease brush, and then afterwards I go into it with the smooth brush to basically strengthen the edges even more. If you smooth around the edges instead of over the edges, you can keep the edges while still making the surfaces around the edges smoother, which makes it look more like the edges are sharper, which can help quite a lot when you try to, for example, do stylized stuff. That's what I'm trying to do here right now. Okay, so I'm already losing sight. I mean, not sight. I'm already losing the focus. Of course, if we, we don't even have leaves right now, so let's put those in first, and then we can focus on the details. I actually like sculpting something else than creatures, especially, maybe not necessarily only trees, but I really like changing up what I do for these quick sketches right now. I think I kind of hit a certain wall with animals. I think I kind of sculpted every kind of archetype that exists. Probably not everything, but now I went through the nature, like the realistic animals. I went through fantastic, like fantasy animals, and now I think I'm kind of already sculpted almost everything that I that sort of covers everything sort of that you've ever seen before. So I kind of probably gonna go more into nature stuff in the future, stuff like trees, maybe even some boring rocks. Just kind of expanding the horizon, doing something else. Stuff like this tree, for example. I kind of enjoyed doing these very, very distinct shapes and turning them into a tree. It sounds weird to me, but the anatomy of a tree is like a pulp. Hold on, what's a pulp again? Let me look that up real quick. There you go. What is that? I don't think. Do you mean pulp? Pulp is just like some sort of I don't even know, like a mass, like a I don't know, soft piece of mass. Not really any like an actual object. Okay, let's finish the first sort of tree crown here, or tree top. The animal in the water. Do you mean an octopus? 8 legs octopus? Or kraken or whatever? Okay, hold on. Where do I have my 20 octopus? Oh yeah, okay. So let's give this some depth here. It seems like, I think this scope is quite big, which means that we have a lot of geometry already. You know, we can also get to sort of the 50 resolution by just increasing the scope size. I think this scope is quite big. So it might get a little bit laggy once we add more volume here. There's a small trick that I want to use here to give or to add way more geometry pretty quickly, to not, you know, so that I don't have to, you know, use multiple millions of brush strokes just to kind of fill this up. Hopefully this works quite well. I think it should. Oh, we have to enable front faces only, so we can only affect the top side. There you go. Yeah, it's sort of like an octopus if you think about it. You know, trying to having multiple, I guess, legs you could say, or I guess not branches, but what are the other ones? Having multiple of those, and then, you know, it sort of looks like an octopus, maybe a little bit longer than, than an octopus, but still, you know, the bottom part. Okay, then I'm going to use inflate, and you'll see what happens. Ooh, oh, hold on. This could be interesting, because it actually doesn't add more geometry, it just stretches everything out. So you get this weird sort of, oh, okay. It kind of looks interesting. Oh, this could be used for, actually no. If you don't want to, I guess, retopologize this, then you could use this for some cloth maybe, but it looks kind of weird right now. So I'm going to go over this and smooth this out. I don't want to have overlapping geometry. That always is kind of weird to work with. We have 70 minutes. Perfect. Oh. Okay. So you can see how laggy it gets, even though I'm actually on, what is it, 20 resolution? Let's actually set it to 10. I just want to get through this quite quickly. You know, just adding volume shouldn't be such a hard thing. So, you know, if we make this scope quite big, then I guess we just have to reduce the size of the geometry, you know. Isn't really, wait. Okay. It's not really necessary for this to be super high resolution necessarily. So at least we can begin with low resolution geometry. Seems like there's penetrating or overlapping geometry, but that shouldn't be the case, because on the other side it looks perfect. Oh, what is that? Interesting. Looks like some sort of alien structure. Okay. See how this kind of overlaps? I wonder where that's coming from. Maybe it's just because of the inflate sort of function, that it still overlaps on some areas, and then it kind of just intertwines with each other. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, now after retopologizing the character, you know, I've finished retopologizing him over the weekend. We can now go over to clothing. Hustler last week mentioned, especially when the only really thing for the character that is visible is the head, that you can then, you know, skip retopologizing the entire body and just, for example, doing the head, you know, because you're only going to study the head anyway, and then you can, you know, I guess save some time. Yeah, if we do stuff like this again, which we probably will at some point, we'll probably do that if it's like a you know, character with a lot of clothing on. I think doing it once is enough. We don't really need to do it every time. You know, retopologizing the body. If you ever want to, you know, learn more about retopology, you can probably either watch the stream from last week Thursday, or you can, you know, look that up somewhere else. I'm also planning on uploading a video, like a very, very dense video about retopology in probably next week. That should cover most of the major questions about the entire process and why and what and how. And then afterwards, I don't really necessarily plan on covering it again. Maybe, I don't know if there are any specific questions that need to be covered, but I don't think so. I think most of it is covered then. So that we don't need to retopologize a body again on stream. We can just either what is it? We can either reuse old geometry, or we just reuse an old, like an old model. I don't think we need to do it again. As I always like to say, if you ever add more detail to a surface that is very, very smooth, like this one, think about not only adding, for example, using the crease brush to add more detail like this, and not only adding geometry, as you can see here, like adding like bumpy surfaces with the add function, but also subtracting. This way you can get way, way more depth into a sculpt without having to really do much more. You just go over the surfaces that you haven't touched with your, I guess, add brush, and this way you can really, really easily get more detail there. Look at that. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Okay, it's good enough. Okay, so let's actually kind of give this sort of leaf brim here some structure. Just doing this, I guess. There you go. We could maybe go over the entire surface again if we wanted to, similar to how we do it with fur. I think what is more valuable right now is adding more stuff like other branches. I think that'll be more helpful. Hopefully we can get into asymmetry as well, depending on how long it'll take to get through the entire thing here. Maybe we can kind of do this. There you go. Not too crazy, just a little bit maybe. I'm already regretting that I did this. It's always like, oh well, I want to add just a little bit more geometry here, or just a little bit of a texture, and then once you start it, it looks weird if you just leave it like smooth in one area, so you have to continue basically, or at least I tell myself that. And so I'm now sitting here after I said I don't want to go into texturing immediately and texture the entire thing. The burden I have to carry, unbelievable. The burden of not being able to resist. Okay, there you go. Didn't take that long. Okay. Let's get into another branch. So we could either create two, I think we're going to create two branches, and then we're going to deform one of them so that, we basically have two different ones. But we added two, and then we have three different ones because we remove symmetry. There you go. There you go. Let me pull that back. Okay. This is very, very thin, but that's okay. Top 10 best trees. True. This is the best tree that I ever sculpted, because it's the first one. Oh, hold on. I think it is time to save the sculpt. Hold on. This one is quick sketch number 211. Oh. Quick sketch day 211. Oh. Oh, there you go. It looks like a bonsai tree in its shape, I agree. But it's, I guess you could say whatever you want to it. It's more like a, fantasy tree. So you can classify it however you want. So if it's a bonsai tree for you, then it'll be that. I think you know, bonsai trees are just small trees, so whether or not you put an ant next to the tree or a human, and depending on how big you make them, then you can say it's a bonsai tree or it's a normal tree. That's the power of scale. You don't know how big an object is unless you put something relatable next to it. Okay. There you go. Just kind of adding more structure here. Okay, so we're gonna put another treetop here. We're gonna make it bigger. I want to have a second big one, and then on the other side we can have a smaller one. This one is also supposed to be sort of slightly angled downwards. Not too much though. The big one should lead. This one can be smaller, like this. There you go. Give it some more volume here. Of course we don't need that much because it's quite small. We also have to make sure that it's not intersecting with the top there, because that could be quite annoying to work with. And also we have some very interesting music in the background. Wait, why are you struggling? Seems like there's some geometry poking through. Unbelievable. So you said you did Blender in class. Did you take a break, or have you been working with Blender for quite a while now? Because, you know, I don't know how old you are, of course, but, you know, I can imagine, you know, talking about, what was it, like, you know, talking about school. It sounded more like it has been a while since that story occurred. So, you know, what is happening? Why is there this random nope spot, I'll call it. It just doesn't work. What are you trying to tell me? Okay. Add more depth to this. The brim needs more structure, so it shouldn't be just smooth. So we do this. There you go. Oh, perfect. Okay. So we have the tree leaves. Perfect. Oh, perfect. Then now we have two, and now we can basically go into stage 2, which is going asymmetrical. Well, that is the last step that we need. We have 6 minutes left, so we can work some more in asymmetry, and I think then we have everything perfectly set up. Okay. Hello. It's lagging. Why? I did nothing except switch to my mask. Please. Oh no. Come on. I hate when that happens. When you deactivate symmetry and then you do anything, sometimes it just lags out and you can't do anything for a little bit. Please. It's hard to explain, but yes, sometimes they let me leave class to program in Unity or make Blender. Oh, that's pretty cool. Come on. See, hello. Please. I just want to model. I just want to sculpt. Oh my god, I hate you. Please. It's not that hard. I just want to use the asymmetry. I can't even switch tools. It won't let me. Now it's completely frozen. No, it's not. Please, just... the worst part of it is, at some point it just works again. Oh, there's something that I tried over the weekend for one of the quick sketches. I tried modeling with... I tried beginning a model or the quick sketch with 50 resolution instead of 20. Usually with dynamic topology enabled, I always start with 20 because then you can block out your scope pretty simply, pretty easily, pretty smoothly. Not really huge lags or whatever. And dude, I hate... Oh, there we go. And I tried... I had this idea that I think ZBrush, because it can handle more or because it's because ZBrush can handle more vertices. I think that is why sometimes, or that is why sculpting in ZBrush feels smoother and more natural, let's say, because, you know, if you don't have any lags, you know, it feels more natural, more smoother. So I tried beginning with 50 resolution, and it actually works quite well. And it kind of, I think it kind of supports my idea. If you start with 50 resolution, you have way more detail you can work with, which also leads you to being able to, if you begin sculpting smoothly, like with smooth geometry, with a lot of geometry basically, it just kind of feels better, at least for me. So it definitely was a better experience. The only problem that I had was that it began sort of, it began lagging quite quickly, so it was kind of hard to work with. So I had to get back to 20 resolution for some parts. But if maybe in Blender 3.0, if there are some performance improvements with how the sculpting interface, you know, works, or, you know, how well you can work in the sculpting interface with, I guess, a lot of geometry, maybe then you can work with 50 resolution inherently, like from the beginning, which would be really cool. I would definitely support that, because I think it just feels better. So let's hope that that happens. It's a matrix error. Maybe just a plan to... Wait, was it 20? Maybe it's just a plan to sabotage me in my quick sketch endeavors. Oh, what is that? There you go. Let's make a nice looking branch. Look at him. Insane. Beautiful. Amazing. Yeah, of course I can't really support, or I can't really base or finish my theory without trying ZBrush. So maybe at some point in the near future we'll try ZBrush. Maybe after the figure is done. Maybe then we can delve into ZBrush and try using that for a little bit to just kind of see how it works, or how it performs. The overall, you know, I guess once you kind of know how to work with it, once you kind of know how the tools work, it's basically the same. You know, you don't really lose your knowledge about a given topic. You just need to know how to execute that knowledge, or how to, you know, use that knowledge in the new software. That's, you know, the really only hurdle you have, or learning new stuff. So yeah, we have like a few seconds left, so we can't really go into that much detail anyway. But at least we can sort of give this some asymmetry. Hold on. What if we do this? Oh, that looks horrible. I guess. Looks kind of weird. But I'll take it. This one, oh yeah, this is the game changer. If we have the big one go in a certain direction, then it's gonna look asymmetrical. See how it immediately looks different? There you go. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we're done. We are done. Let me just level all these out, and then we can cut them off at the bottom. I want to kind of, you know, keep them a little bit. Okay, let me go and add a cube first, and then we can add the... We can level them all. There you go. Probably like over here. That's pretty good. Let's see if there are any outliers that don't really fit that well. I think that looks pretty good. I kind of want to keep one of these too. So let me lift one of those up real quick and then we're done. There you go. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Let's save it one more time and then let's apply the good old Boolean modifier. Oh, let me get rid of the timer. We don't need you anymore. Yeah, so we're definitely gonna do some more maybe stylized environment pieces, or just, you know, overall doing some nature stuff, you know, some plants or some trees or some rocks to do something different, I guess you could say. I did the same. Well, we went through multiple topics in these quick sketches. We went from using, so I downloaded I think like 30 or 40 3D assets, and what we basically did in the beginning was we used a random number generator to use one of these 3D assets for the quick sketch. So we had a set asset that we need to use and we had to build around that. And then once all these were basically used up, I think then we switched to, what was it? I think it was environment modeling, and then afterwards we went into sculpting. So now we're in sculpting, and I guess you could say creature sculpting, I think it is time for something different. It is time for, I guess, environment sculpting. No, yeah, basically. Gonna make this a little bit smaller because the sculpt is quite big. There you go. Look at him. Look at this beautiful tree. Can't really see it from this side. There you go. That looks pretty cool. I like it. I like the angle. Although it's not really in frame. Hold on. Let me fix that. There you go. Look at it. It's beautiful. Unmatched beauty. Perfect. Okay. Save it. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, let's go in here, rendered view, and let's add some lighting and the main shader. I mean, the only shader that we really need. Ooh, there you go. Collection. There it is. Look at it. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, let's light it properly. Oh. Oh, that looks pretty cool. Although, yeah, I want to have more shadow in there. I think that's pretty cool. We can see the nice shadow hanging over the trunk right there. We can also see the nice rim light on the other side. I think that works quite well. Maybe we can place it a little bit more over here. I kind of like it there. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then we need the material to finish the look, which is right here. There you go. Apply. There it is. It's not really a huge change, but it's, you know, a slight change that can make the scope look more detailed than it actually, I guess, is. I mean, the details are there, but they're quite hard to display when you're working with low resolution. So stuff like these sort of creases there get lost with low resolution. So, you know, adding this crease, I guess you could say, shader really helps in bringing out these details some more. Okay, perfect. Let's render the image. Hold on. There you go. Did I refill my water bottle? Hold on. I didn't. Of course I didn't. Why would I? There it is. Okay. Let's do some post-production. Very, very simple, very easy. I skipped the post-production scene. There it is. Or window. Let's see, what do we have here? Nice glow there. Let's set it to 2 so it's not too strong. Yellow, maybe too high, and then we're good. Perfect. Okay. I want to get to the next topic quite quickly. Modeling the leather armor. So let's set it to 100%. And then render sampling rate number times 8, 256. And render. And there you go. It'll take 2 minutes. Perfect. You are German? Yes, I am German. I am from Germany. I am in Germany. I live in Germany. I speak German. Okay, so because my bottle isn't fully filled up yet, I'm gonna fill it up while this is rendering. I'm gonna see you in probably 30 seconds, maybe a little bit longer. I'll see you then. I have returned. Is the render done? Nope, it's not. I finished it in time. Oh, actually 30 seconds. Easy. Let me drink something real quick. Stay hydrated, as I like to say. As you should like to say as well. Not just say, but follow, you know? You're not only supposed to say it, you're also supposed to do it. And then here I am, drinking once while this is rendering, and then afterwards being too busy or too concentrated on working on whatever we do on stream that I don't really think about water anymore. Okay. There you go, quick sketch day 211. 211. There you go, perfect. Okay, we finished the tree. We can the tree is kind of similar to this sort of meme with this drawn horse, where you can see this awesome, perfectly like photorealistic drawn horse, like the back of it, and then in the front it gets worse and worse and worse until it basically becomes a scribble. And that's what you can see here in this tree. You can see perfect resolution down here, you know, super detailed. You can see these sharp edges right there. Oh, perfect, awesome. And then we go higher and higher and higher, and then oh no, and then we get to this, which is just this super messy, super low resolution sort of part of the sculpt. Hold on, let me see if I can find the meme. Artist time meme. Hold on, artist time meme. Oh, there it is. The first, no, that's not that. Time meme horse. There it is. Hold on. There you go. Look at it. That's what I mean. You could perfectly put that on top of the the tree as well. Look at it. Hold on. There you go. Look at it. The exact same. You know, here this perfect. Oh my god, so much detail. Wow. And then oh no, we don't have that much time anymore. Zzz. And then oh no, so perfect detail. And then whoop. Oh no. Okay. I know that I will not meet you in this life, so if I find you in heaven, I will invite you. I invite you a tinto, the concentrated coffee of my country. Oh, okay. Never drank, or I've never been drinking coffee in my life, but I will not, you know. I never really found the taste to be bad, so you know, I will not decline that offer if I see you in heaven. Why do you mean that you will never see me in in this life. Are you already so old, or? I don't think you're that old if you've been using Blender in in school. Wait, what am I doing? Hold on. Okay, we go to Blender. There you go. There it is. No, never mind. Okay. Let's do some post-production. So, first of all, do this. Hell yeah. See, look at the difference. Way more depth in the image. Then we need selective color correction to bump it up even more. We need the gray tones to be lower, so we have even more depth in here. Then we go to the white tones and bump them up just a little bit more to lose a very, very slight amount of detail there, but everything else looks a little bit brighter. And then there's one more thing that we need. Wait, let me try one more thing. Hold on. So, you can see it, right? Yeah. Okay, well, you can't even see my layers. But the problem is if I go to Photoshop here. Oh, no. Yeah, it doesn't work. See, you can't see my image. So I have to use display capture, unfortunately, which means that the chat is up right there, but I can't do anything about it. I mean, I could put it here, but then I can't see myself. Well, no, I can't see the stream and the chat either. I will not tell you my age, but I'm at that age where you go to university and you are of legal age. And others. I say it because I don't think I can leave South America so easily. Maybe I'll come to you. Maybe that'll happen. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen in the next 10 years, you know? Okay. Yeah, we need... Oh, I wanted to try something. We go in here, we have the good old filter gallery. Where are you? Wait. Oh, it's grayed out. Why? Why are you grayed out? I want to see your filters. Wait. Oh. That's boring. Okay, well then I'm going to use my own filter, I guess. There you go. Fingerprint texture, as always. Hold on, let me see if there are any other that could work. I tried it before, but I didn't really find a good one. And I don't think I'm going to find a good one here. I think I'm just going to use this one. Didn't put that much effort into finding a good one, but you know, I'll just use what works. There you go. Sticking with what works won't lead to improvement or innovation, but I think we can give up innovation for this piece. I think I'll accept that trade. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Let's get back to Blender. Wait. I think we should have enough room. My hard drive should have enough room for this stream. Hopefully. We'll see. Okay. The image is ready. It is time to upload the image. Before we do that though, let me show you the new version, the new I guess state of the model. Hold on. Nope, I don't want to append it, I want to open it. Reprefiguring version 1E. There it is. Look at him. Isn't he beautiful? Look at him. He is perfectly retopologized, except for the hands. The hands are a little bit scuffed, as you can see there. I tried to find a good solution. I think one solution you could do is maybe add one more edge loop here that could go, I don't even know, like, yeah, that's bad, maybe through here, so that you have one more edge loop that you can work into this hand. But I didn't really bother, so I just tried to sort of you know, do it somehow. I never really was good at hands. I'm still looking for a good technique for modeling hands. Usually I do them last. I think that's so I'm kind of tending, or I think what I want to do next, if I do one of these again, is I would do the hands probably even first, because then I can decide how many loops I need for the hands, which I think the hands, if you do them last, how I did them, I think then you're kind of screwed if you don't have enough, and it kind of, you know, screws up the geometry. So it looks like this. And I think you can make this a way cleaner if you just have more loops here. I was kind of restricted for the loops because I didn't want to go through it again and add more. So, you know, I'm just sitting here, you know, that's all I can do, or that's all I can work with. So I did this. Welcome, Kush. Hope you had a great Monday and also a great weekend. Welcome back, welcome back. Today it is time for the clothing. Hope you're excited. Maybe you have modeled some clothing already. Maybe you want to model some clothing in the future. Doesn't matter, we'll do it today. Okay. Need to go for a minute. Please do not eat pineapple with milk that you drawn, or at least while I'm gone. Okay. I will not eat pineapple with milk. Okay, so, but, hold on. Let me set this to, let's remove this. There you go. Now we have a double layer. We need to remove this. Let's call this body retopo. Perfect, okay. We still need to bring back all the details that we had before, but that shouldn't take too long. Okay, let me quickly upload the image and then we can begin. There you go. Copy and paste. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna see you in 3 minutes, and then we're gonna begin with this. You can see right there. Right there. We're gonna begin modeling the clothing, the first layer of clothing, the symmetrical part of the clothing basically, for the character. So that we can then, once we have the clothing and everything is kind of set up to be rigged, then we can go into rigging the character, posing the character, and then we can add the second layer of clothing so we can finish the model basically. That'll be the plan, which means we're going to begin with the first part, the clothing, the first layer, in 3 minutes. Hope you enjoy the compilation, and then we're going to begin modeling. So I'll see you in 3 minutes. Hope you enjoy the good old compilation. There you go. My camera's way too low. There you go. Okay. We need music. Let's begin the clothing. So, as I said before, today, we so hold on. Let me show you the clothing that we're gonna model. Okay. We're gonna go to the good old the references that I have. Okay. So those are the references. Okay. Well, you can see them right there. We have real life references, which is pretty good because then we can see how they did it in real life. Sometimes fantasy clothing isn't really that believable in some detailed aspects. So having it in real life actually makes it, tangible and makes it basically realistic how it would look in real life. So you would have stuff like actual realistic folds, realistic seam lines, and all that stuff. You would have that in a real costume. So this is the original concept art as far as I know. We can't really see that much, but what we can see is, for example, he has boots on, he has these straps around his legs, these sort of, I don't even know what you want to call those, straps, let's call them straps. He has gloves on. There are some symmetrical parts. You can see the gloves with these, I don't even know, like these knuckle braces. He has arm braces on, he has leg braces, knee pads, which are on both sides. So there are some parts that are symmetrical, the first layer basically. But then on top of that, he also has a second layer, which you can see here for stuff like his cloak. His cloak is not symmetrical. His hat, let's look at the actual in-game model. His hat is not symmetrical. He maybe has, he has this belt with these shells, I guess, which aren't symmetrical. And everything else seems to be quite symmetrical, except for the cloak. So we can probably add most of this in the first phase of adding the clothing, and then afterwards we can go into the second phase after we basically modeled and rigged and posed the character and finish the character by adding the last layer. So yeah, we modeled the character's body first, not only because I wanted to basically show, I guess, retopologizing a character on stream so that we have that as a topic, like as a video on this channel, but also because if I would do this again, and you can see with this character, for example, the only really thing that you see of his body are his eyes. Hold on. Do we have a good image of this here somewhere? Well, let's use this one. You would have to imagine that this is sort of like a mask that is covering his nose and mouth. So the only really thing that you can see in the character of the skin of the character are his eyes, and then also some parts down here for the hold on. Where are you? There you are. For like the skin kind of poking through in small, pieces which don't really, show that much. So it's not really like there are a lot of, there isn't really a lot of skin visible. So retopologizing the entire character would probably not make that much sense. Well, it would probably be faster if you would do it if you would immediately go to modeling the clothing, which we will probably do if we do this again. But for this time we retopologize the entire character, which means we can actually use the topology that we have created for the character for the clothing as well. I can show you what I mean here. So if we go into the character, what we could do, for example, is we could say, well, he has some arm braces, or he has let's say he has pants on. So what we can do then is we can go in here, we can select the legs, go all the way from here. Can we just select those? I guess not. Oh, hold on. No. Wait, how do you... Oh, I know how. So now you do this, I think? No. Okay, it only works for one phase. Oh, I know how. Hold on. There you go. So we can select the entire leg like this. We probably go all the way up to, what is it? to the hips, maybe higher than the hip bone. So I guess over here we could say, there you go. Oh, hello. Let's just select this down here first. Okay. Oh, I don't want to rip anything. There you go. And then once we have all this selected, we can maybe delete one of those. We can then duplicate this geometry and use it for the pants. Of course, this has very low resolution currently, but at least we have a good base, and we can also basically make the clothing very, very thin. The problem is oftentimes if you sculpt clothing is that you have to basically, when you create the clothing, you always have to kind of find the skin underneath and then stay just a little bit over it to not make the clothing too thick, which is always annoying. And if you first create the character underneath and then basically use the character underneath to create the rest of the clothing, then at least you can use stuff like duplicating this. Oh, hold on, I need to remove snapping. Duplicating, separating. Then we have a second pants model like this. And then we can use stuff like, well, first of all, mirror, and then solidify to add some more thickness to this and bring it out. So we can have some pant geometry at least immediately. You can see now the pants aren't too thick to make it look weird. They might be skin tight right now, but we know we can change that. One thing we can do with this now is we can use it with multi-resolution, which means we have good topology to work with. We have good topology that we can use for the model, at least the first layer sort of. But we can also, we also don't have too much thickness for it to look like pants, for example. One thing we have to do though, of course, if we look at the reference, there are some holes in the pants. Here, for example, it is not the same for him. He doesn't have that, but I would go with the in-game model more than, I guess, the cosplay, because, you know, cosplays tend to not be 100% accurate. So I would rather go with the in-game model. You can see his is just like leather pants. I would probably prefer to go with this because they're maybe leather pants, but they're actually like made out of a different material, as it at least looks like that. So I would rather go with this rather than the cosplay. But at least we can see some deformations in the pants, for example, that we could maybe interpret or include in our model. So we can go into the character. But what I want to do first, though, is first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all these backup files, like the body, remove all this. So now we only have the rough body, and we have eyes as well, of course. And we have the retopology model. I'm going to duplicate the retopology model to have a backup of it, you know, just to be safe. Retopology backup. There you go. Put that in the backup folder. And then we add the detail that we added in the sculpting process to this sculpt as well. So we're going to go to body retopo. We're going to duplicate it. We're going to move it over. So we have a duplicate of the one that is on top of the character. We then call this multi-res, and the other one is called subdiv underscore the subdivision level that we want to use. So what we basically do now is we create a cast. We create a cast using a subdivision modifier that we can then apply to the multi-res modifier. And if we increase the multi-res subdivisions to the amount that we've subdivided the subdivision model, we can then copy the subdivision model appearance to the multi-res appearance, which basically copies the look, but also keeps the lower stages of subdivisions. So you can switch between high subdivision level and low subdivision level without having to have multiple models, I guess you could say, which is very useful, especially for stuff like, well, basically for the rest of the model. So we have the retopology model over the scope model. So what we do have to do now, first of all, we have to apply the mirror. Before we do that though, I want to check one thing, which is if actually everything is connected in the middle. Seems like that's the case. What is that? Oh, okay, just geometry. Just trying to check if everything is in place. You know, if not, then that's not good. Okay, looks to be good though. Perfect. So what we can do now is we can go and apply this mirror modifier. We can do the same here. We then go over to the the subdivision modifier, subdivision model, and we add a subdivision surface modifier. So we add more geometry, more resolution to this. We're going to do this probably to, we probably don't need more than 2. Let's go to 3 though, just to be sure. There you go. Now we have 3 subdivisions, and you can see everything gets way smoother than it should be. To fix that, to keep the detail that we had before, we bring back the sculpt. We go to the subdivision model, and we apply a shrink wrap modifier. The shrink wrap modifier basically attaches to the nearest surface that we determine. Which surface is it supposed to snap to? Of course, to the sculpt. Now it snaps to the sculpt. The retopology model snaps to the surface of the sculpt. And then if we, first of all, bring back in front, we can actually see the surface. And we can see everything has more detail. It's still the same model. It's still the same resolution, but we have more we keep the detail. We can see in some areas, for example, the ear, everything looks kind of scuffed, but we can fix that in just a second. I'm just kind of looking over everything, seeing if there are any big problems that we can't fix by just doing a simple trick, let's say. Everything seems to be quite good. Yeah, so let's fix these problems real quick, and then we can go into the next step. So I wonder if we have to duplicate. I'm going to leave this over here first. Maybe we need to duplicate this once we fixed it. Okay, so we need to fix some things here. Let's go over to the ear first. So for the ear, you can see it kind of, it looks like very stretchy and wrong. There's just like a piece missing. The piece isn't missing, but what happens if we use, oh, hold on. We need to set it to project and then negative positive. Well, it still stayed the same. Okay. So it should be cleaner now. As you can see, most of the areas look good now, but the ears are still scuffed. There's a simple step or a simple thing we can do to fix the ears that we will do in just a second. I'm just, looking over it again to see if everything looks fine. We can see this is weird. We can probably fix that, but everything else looks pretty good. We can see the feet there, the toes, the connected toes. Okay, so once we have that, we can go into here. Let's fix the ear. So the problem here is not that there's something missing. The problem is that it attaches to the wrong surface. So if you have a very thin model, like the ear, for example, and because you use a subdivision modifier, everything gets kind of smooth. Because of its smoothness, everything kind of shrinks together, which means that sometimes the surface that is on this side actually shrinks together so much that it detects the other side as the surface that it's supposed to snap to, because it snaps to the closest surface. So what it does is it doesn't snap to this side, it snaps to this side, which you can see right here. This surface here is supposed to snap somewhere over here, but it actually snaps to the inside of the ear. And it's pretty simple to fix actually. So what we do have to do here, we just grab this. First of all, what we do, so we don't have that many lags, we can decrease the subdivision level all the way down to where we basically don't have all these problems. There you go. Then we go in here and we use this, we move the geometry a little bit. We move it outwards so we can actually bring it closer to the surface that it's actually supposed to snap to. And there you go. Voila. It already looks pretty good. Moving it a little bit more should fix the problem. And there you go. Now just by moving it outwards a little bit, we fixed the problem. Is there any more? Doesn't seem like there is. Oh, there it is. There's one more. What happened here? Looks pretty good to me now. This is kind of weird, but I guess that's just how it looks. Okay. The ear looks fine to me. Inside of the ear looks good to me. Lips, yeah. Oh, the other ear, hold on. Oh, we have to do them. Can we enable? Hold on. Okay, so I want to do the changes on the other side at the same time. So let me see if I can enable something that lets me do that. So hold on, Rigify, edit, nope, tools, options, mirror. Hold on, does that work? It does, perfect, okay. Now we can reduce the subdivision level. Perfect. And now we can fix it. And it fixes it on both sides and the mesh still stays symmetrical. So let's do that real quick. There you go. We have one more down here. Perfect. And there you go. We fixed the ear. Looks pretty good to me. Let's add some more resolution so we can see if everything actually looks how it's supposed to. So let's go ahead and let's look through the level 2 real quick. This looks pretty fine to me. It kind of looks like it's jumping the edge. We can probably fix that. Hold on. Can we? Maybe the edge is just kind of smooth. Hold on, let me see. It's sort of smooth. Let me remove in front so we can see it. Okay, yeah, it's basically in the middle. There's not really that much we can do. It's just the resolution that kind of missing up there. Or that is not there enough. Okay. Looks pretty good down here. Yep. Okay. Well, there wasn't really any problems here anyway, except for the ear. So let's bring back in front, and then let's increase it one more time to number 3. Okay, there you go. Ears look fine, except for this small little piece. So you see, for some resolutions, it just kind of, brings it back. So we have to go back in here. Oh, we selected the wrong model. There you go. I would just have to do it again. So we select it, move it out. Might be a little bit laggy. There you go. And we fix it. Perfect. Everything's fixed now. Oh, there's one more. What is that? Wait, is it on the inside? What is that? Why does it look so scuffed? That's kind of interesting. Hold on. I guess that's just because the face is so long that it doesn't really have that much to pull from. We could maybe pull it over here a little bit to fix it. You see, there's this sort of cut in there that I'm trying to fix. Let's see. We should probably... What if I pull it over here a little bit to kind of space it out some more? That could work. There you go. Maybe we can space it out like this. Is there still overlap? There's still overlap. Okay, so we have to... Where's it coming from, though? Oh, there it is. Hold on. I think it's because we have so many loops here on top of each other. So if we space them out some more, that should work. We can probably also just smooth it out with the sculpt brush, so it's not really like a huge deal. Let's see, let's look at the other side. Looks good to me. The ear looks okay. Oh. I wonder why we don't... Hold on, did I... Oh. No, it's still on, okay. I guess sometimes it just doesn't... Sometimes the sculpt is just not fully symmetrical. That happens sometimes. There you go. This edge looks kind of scuffed. We can fix that real quick. There you go. Looks pretty good to me. Everything looks fine. I don't see any big problems. Lips look pretty good and nose looks pretty good. I like it. Okay, we brought back the detail. Now that we have all the detail back, we can go to the next step. Hold on. Is that another overlap? It is. Perfect. Let me fix that real quick. What are you doing? Wait, did I... Oh, I have topology mirror on. Is that because of that? That's interesting. Why is there this weird... projection error? The dinosaur hasn't told you anything? Oh no. Are you looking for some info from them? Oh, there it is. Aha, perfect. Okay. Yeah, just kind of pushing and pulling around should fix the weird geometry. Nothing here, nothing there. Perfect. Oh, nope. Perfect, okay. Let's look at the hands real quick, and then we're done. Hands look pretty good to me. Perfect, okay. We are ready to continue. So now what I actually want to do is I want to duplicate this and put it to the side. Not delete it, but put it aside. Right there. I'm going to remove subdivision and shrink wrap. We maybe don't need this one. We're going to use this one because we changed a few geometry pieces. We're going to bring in multi-resolution. How many subdivisions do we do here? We did 3. Let's call it retopo. No, let's call it body. Retopo subdiv 3. We're going to go in here. We use multi-resolution subdivided 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. And now with level 3 enabled, we don't need multi-res, but I'm going to leave it there for now. We go to subdiv 3. We're going to apply subdivision and shrink wrap. And then we select multi-res. After selecting the subdivision model, we go to this, select the multi-res model, and then we say shape, apply base. It'll take a while. Maybe not. Hold on. Let's try again. Maybe it was reshape. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Reshape. Okay. And there we go. We have the same structure that we have for the subdivision model, but now what we can do is we can go in here to the multi-res model and go to the viewport and decrease the viewport. So we can have the low resolution model, but also the high resolution model. We can switch between the two whenever we want. The dinosaur went away. Oh, nice. What are you doing? So we finished the body of the character. We retopologized it. So now we want to add some clothing. What I basically did now is I applied the the detail that we had in the model before to the retopologized model, so that we you know, can switch between low resolution and high resolution. There you go. This is low resolution, and then we can go to high resolution. There you go. Okay, so we have both. We don't need subdivision anymore, so let's put that in backup. There's one thing that I'm going to do with this sculpt though. We can see the ear, I think, is still a little bit messed up. So let's go to sculpting real quick and fix that. We don't really need to do much. We just need to go in here. Is it? No, it's actually good, right? There's no overlapping geometry. Is there? Doesn't seem like there is. No, there's none. Oh, well. Maybe it fixed itself. Maybe it just looked like that. See, there, it looks like there is, but there isn't. Well, okay. What is that? Okay, interesting. Interesting bump right there. Is there a hole? No, there shouldn't be. Oh no. Let me just quickly check. What happens if we smooth this? We can't even see it. Where is it? It's not there. Okay. Well. It works, so I'm not complaining. Okay. Let's go to the next step. We don't need the sculpt anymore. Let's call it body sculpt. There you go. Let's bring it into the backup. We have the eye, we have retopology, we have multi-res. We don't need to do multi-res anymore. Let's call this one multi-res. There you go. And then we are ready to begin the clothing. Let's bring this back into the middle. Oh yeah, that didn't work. There you go. Okay. So as we said before, there are multiple levels of clothing. The first level is symmetrical, the next levels are not. So what we're going to do first is we're going to model all the clothing that is not symmetrical. I mean, that is symmetrical. So we, hold on, let me just pull up my references. Let me switch to Blender, there you go. Okay, so stuff that includes symmetry is basically the first layer. We have a chest plate, we have pants, we have boots, we have these sort of knee braces and arm braces and leg braces, knee pads, stuff like that, which you can add symmetrically because it's on both sides. And then we have another layer with stuff like the belt, multiple belts actually. We have stuff like the coat and the hat and stuff like that, which we're going to add afterwards. The first part is pants, boots, chest, piece, hand, and basically everything sort of has everything or something on the first layer. So let's begin with, I think the pants are the simplest. Before we begin, I'm going to drink something real quick. Okay, so as we said before, because we have the body retopologized, we already have good topology. So we can use this topology for the clothing. Let's begin using the topology for the clothing. How about we use it for pants? We're going to block out the clothing first before we go into more detail. So let's block out everything first. We're going to begin with the pants. There you go. We should probably enable mirror. There you go. Okay. Now we should select both sides, right? Nope, apparently not. Oh, okay. Topology mirror, hold on. Does that work? No. Oh, we can mirror the selection as well. Okay, before we begin, I actually need to go to the restroom. I'm gonna be back in 1 minute, and then we're gonna begin with the pants. So I'm gonna see you in a minute. There you go. I feel refreshed and ready to go. It is not time to say bad words, okay? Okay. Bad words are not allowed. Okay. So we begin with the pants. So the plan, of course, the good thing is now that we have the good topology, we can not only use it for the getting it close to the skin, we can also use it for sculpting. So we can actually sculpt using the topology that we have here. We probably need to retopologize it afterwards, but we'll see. Maybe not, we'll see. So we're gonna begin with the pants. There we go. All the way up to here. Probably all the way up to here. Maybe one more. Okay, now we have everything selected. Let's go in here and we can say select mirror, extend, and there you go. Now we have both sides selected. We can duplicate it. Yeah, I mean, mango's, you know, pretty close to, you know, it's a pretty, you know, it's a gray zone, so, you know, I'm not gonna ban you for it, but, you know, you should be careful what you say. I'll allow mango for now. Okay, so we have the pants. Of course, the pants don't really look like pants because the pants could probably, hold on. Now that we don't really need the retopology shader anymore, I'm gonna delete it or remove it. There you go. And I will use the good old random coloring so we can see the pants. Perfect. Okay. This also doesn't need to have in front anymore. Okay, so we have the pants here. Let's bring in the boots. The boots, of course, don't have toes, but at least we can use the geometry, as I said before. So, there you go. Oh, nope. Yeah, well, we can probably do that. There you go. Select them. Mirror. Perfect. So we can duplicate those. Separate. There you go. Now we have boots and pants. Okay. We also need the chest piece. The chest piece is made out of multiple pieces. So we probably actually need multiple duplications of this. Although we'll just start with one for now. So we're going to go in here and we're going to do the same here. So it seems like he has some sort of undergarment, which is like a long sleeve shirt basically, and then on top of that he has another layer of more leathery armor. So yeah, hold on. Actually, no, he doesn't. Oh, that's what he was wearing because he didn't want to reveal too much, I guess. Okay, so he actually doesn't have that. We can still use it though. We can still use the real life references. Okay. Wait, is that a... No, that's a female character. Where's the male character? There it is. Okay. So, for this one, we're gonna go in here. We're gonna go into... Well, we can probably first select everything and then we can remove what we don't need. There you go. We don't need this. I don't want to select this edge loop. Let's see. So we need more than this, of course. There you go, all the way up to probably... We're not going to see this layer necessarily, so we can just go all the way up to here. Oh, I selected the wrong side. There you go. That should be good enough. We don't need to go higher. We then also need to probably include the entire arm, right? The arm is fully included. Seems like that's the case. There isn't really that much good footage of it, so it's hard to see. But it seems like that's the case. So we have an undergarment that includes the entire arm. There you go. All the way up to the gloves. There you go, perfect. We do the same here. Perfect. Oh, they have the same color. Not that perfect, but I guess we're gonna leave it there for now. We have nothing. Well, we have something for the. He has like this sort of scarf cloak on, but I don't think we're gonna use that. We're not gonna. That's the second layer basically. We don't need to add that now. We have the gloves though. The gloves we can add. Hold on, where are my gloves? The gloves are some sort of fingerless gloves. They're not actually, with fingers. They're almost fully with, or they include some of the finger, not everything though. Let me see if I can find a good reference here. Okay, so they include everything up to probably here, to the first knuckle. Yeah. Okay. There you go. For the thumb, what about the thumb? The thumb is hard to see. Come on, there are no thumbs in these references. There's one. Okay, the same. So all the way up to probably there. Maybe here. That's probably better. There you go, okay. So that's the glove. I don't want to select too much. Oh, too much. Just as I said it. Okay, there you go. Those are the gloves. We have to do that on both sides. So how about we mirror the selection? Select mirror. There you go. Duplicate. Separate selection, and there you go. We have fingerless gloves, and that's basically everything we need. We could add. Oh yeah, let's add the chest piece. For the chest piece, I guess what we can do is we can just go in here and select the shape of the chest piece, and then we can form it some more. We can shape it some more afterwards. So the shape of the chest piece is quite simple. It is somewhat like this. Well, it's not going up there. It's going all the way up to here, and then it sort of makes a loop. We're gonna bring that in later though. The loop will be we'll model that loop in. The geometry doesn't really follow the loop that I want to bring in here, so we have to kind of bring it in later. Good thing is up here there's going to be the cloak, so we're not going to see it that much, but of course we still try to get pretty close to reference. Okay, so I think we even need to go to here. There you go. Then we go all the way up to here probably, and then we go all the way to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. That's going to be the chest piece from the front. Select everything. Duplicate, separate, selection. And we have the chest piece. Let's go to the back. Do we have it? Well, the back isn't really that visible anyway, so we don't really need to do much with the back. We can't really see the back anyway. We're gonna include a cloak in the end, which will completely hide the back. But I think we could maybe bring something in there. Let's look at the real life reference. You can't really see the real life reference, so I'm just gonna look at it myself. Let's see if I can see anything. Do I even have a good shot from the back? There doesn't really seem to be anything. Hold on. So if we don't really know what we could do there, what we can do though is we can go to some other references. How about we go to, what is it called? Biker armor. Let's see. So we can look at stuff like this. I think that can be quite helpful. This is sort of leather armor. It's not really leather, but it's still something we can use as reference. So, for example, let's look at if we can find an interesting shape that could fit for this armor. Just kind of like a back plate. I think that could work quite well. Let's see. I already have something in mind, but I want to see something here first. What about biker? Hold on. Bike back protection. Oh, that's an interesting back protection. Can you not, please? Do you see this sort of thing there? This sort of I don't even know what this backpack. I guess that's supposed to. Yeah, that's supposed to cushion your fall, I guess. Nice hero pose there. Can we please just find a good reference for the back? Biker body armor. Maybe that's better. This one's definitely better. Do we see a... Oh, this one. That's pretty good. So we see like a plate in the back as well, which doesn't have the exact same shape, but I think we can kind of adapt it for our piece as well. What I'm kind of looking for is that it probably starts pretty slim here in the middle, and then it gets wider the further up we go. One thing that I probably want to do though is I want to start pretty broad, because I think it's easier to push together than to pull it out. So we're going to begin pretty broad, and we're just going to go all the way up to the top. Just kind of looking for that we grab enough of this back piece. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Go all the way back down, and we select it. Duplicate, separate, and there you go. Backplate. Perfect. So we have the first layer of armor. Well, not everything. We still need the arm braces, for example. Hold on. There you go. Yeah, we need arm braces. We need leg braces. We need... I think we don't even have like pants going all the way down, if I see that correctly. Well, no. We actually do. Okay. But what we don't have, or what we still don't have, is the knee protection, which we can bring in now. We also don't have the... There you go. We probably need to select more. Yeah, we need to select more. There you go. There you go. Duplicate, separate. There we have the knee pads. We also need the knee sort of braces. There you go. Which also go all the way around, it seems. Okay. Which is kind of hard to model, but we will do it. There you go. It's kind of weird because we don't have this, we have this sort of kind of zigzag there because of how the faces go. But that's just, you know, how it's going to look. Or, well, after modeling it or sculpting it, we will definitely have a better look there. Okay. This is a part that we definitely need to... Well, we could also add it later. Maybe that's a better idea. If we add it later, then we can create good geometry immediately. Maybe that's a better idea. So we're not going to add the leg braces first. Maybe we shouldn't do we should do the same with the kneecaps as well. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Reminds me once riding a motorcycle on the beach. Okay. Put on a bowl as a helmet. The police did not issue a fine. They only told me that if I did not consume anything, it would be fine. Okay. It's pretty nice policeman, I guess. Interesting. I don't know if a bowl is really that protective, but you know. You're still here, so seems like nothing bad happened. Okay. We have the arm braces though. I think we can use the grid geometry here for the arm braces. Let me look at them real quick. How far do they go? We also have elbow pads, if I can see that correctly. Yeah, we do. Okay. Let's do the arm brace first. There you go. We duplicate, separate, selection. There you go. Oh, hold on. There you go. Duplicate, separate, selection. There you go. We have the arm braces. We have the gloves. We have the chest piece. We also have the legs. There you go. We have the boots. Do we need more? I think everything else. Oh, we need to make the boots longer actually. We need another selection here. We need to make them way longer. They're sort of, yeah, they're more boots rather than, I guess, shoes. Only did my head get hot and it hurt my leg. Yeah. I can imagine if you would just use a bowl as a helmet, it would probably hurt more having that on instead of just having nothing on. Okay. That's the best when you do something stupid, or well, not stupid, but when you do something reckless, and then you you don't hurt yourself, but then afterwards, once you're done, for example, when you want to get off the bike, then you hurt yourself. It's like, well, you had luck this time. Psych, never mind. Okay, there you go. That's better. Okay, I think we have everything that we need. We can go into modeling or sculpting. Let me go in here and let me quickly... Oh, I'm going to rename everything first. So this will be... let's call it L1 for layer 1 armor, layer 1 armor, under armor. There you go. Then we have L1 armor, arm braces. We have L1 armor, chest plate. We have L1 armor, back plate. There you go. We also have L1 armor, gloves. Then we have L1 armor, not armor, armor. Oh, let's call it armor boots. And then we have L1 armor pants. Pants. There you go. Okay. Perfect. Okay, now everything is named properly. We see already he has an outfit on. So let's get to creating an actual outfit, modeling this some more, giving it some more detail. So I think how could we do this? So one thing we have to keep in mind is that it's supposed to be on top of the skin. So we cannot really subdivide, but that's okay. So let's begin with the probably giving everything a little bit more detail, I guess you could say. I think that would be the best move first. Let's go to the pants first. I think the pants are the simplest one to just kind of give it a rough change, I guess you could say. So what I'm going to do here is probably going to add maybe 1 or 2 subdivisions. Before we do that though, I'm going to go ahead and first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the body and increase the subdivision just so we get a little bit closer to the finished look. And then we can go to the pants and we can basically add more subdivisions here, maybe 1 or 2. There you go. And then we can go into sculpting and adjust it a little bit. How about we go back to random again? Okay. Oh, hold on. We have 2 sculpting subdivisions. There you go. Perfect. Okay. So first thing first, what I'll do is I will use the inflate brush to push it out. So we see everything from the pants, nothing underneath. Okay. Next up, I want to just smooth or kind of remove some details that are not really visible anyway. Let me just quickly focus on the pants. There we go. Okay. So let me get rid of this piece here, for example. I'm just kind of trying to smooth everything out so that it kind of fits more of a pant look. It's not supposed to be super skin tight. It is quite tight, but it's not that tight. So I'm just trying to give it some more room, give it some more space to, you know, give it some some room basically. Not just by pulling and pushing, but also by smoothing out. See how I can now pull out the crack? The pants will not stick in between the buns. They'll be outside, on the outside, so we need to pull them out. There you go. He also, or they, I guess, the class has sort of baggy pants. So we need to pull them lower a little bit. Actually, no, we need to pull them higher, actually, right? No, we need to pull them lower, like this. And then we need to give them a more baggy look. That's why I not only add more geometry here, or give it some more volume, but also because otherwise it doesn't really look like pants. You know, if it's skin, like 100% skin tight, basically the second layer of skin. We see also we have this sort of bump right there. I want to pull this up so we can actually see, or that the pants sort of are on the same height, or the belt is on the same height. Here, maybe that's a little bit too high. We can probably pull them lower a little bit. There you go. We can see it kind of disconnects from the surface or from the skin, but that's okay. Not really looking for you know, correct seam lines or good correct folds or whatever. I'm just trying to add some more volume where it's kind of needed. Okay, we need to go to the front, do the same. They're supposed to be quite baggy, as I said before, so we need to add way more geometry here. You can see this sort of stretching here, but that's okay. The geometry doesn't really support the baggy pants necessarily, so we kind of have to work with the geometry. We're going to work with it for now. We're probably going to retopologize it afterwards. Probably with auto retopology to make it easier. So what I'm looking for right now is basically just to remove all the muscle detail that we saw before to give it more of this overlying sort of this overlying like fabric look. You can't really see muscle structure underneath if it's especially like leather armor. Leather is quite sturdy, quite stiff, so leather would not really shape itself to the shape underneath, like the leg muscles or whatever. So stuff like small details like the leg muscles you wouldn't really see in the surface of the pants. So I'm just trying to smooth everything out, remove these details so that we have something that looks more like pants. We can see here it still goes through the surface underneath the skin, so we have to add way more geometry here down here in the back. Adding seam lines also helps a lot when you're trying to create clothing, just because seam lines make everything look more realistic. Not just because it, basically because it explains how the clothing has been created. There's not really a piece of clothing in the world that is not made out of different, every 3D, clothing is three-dimensional. And just as you know, with 3D modeling and texturing, the pieces or the 3D model is not just one surface. It's basically split up into multiple pieces, which are then sewn together for the final, 3D model. So you actually need to give it some room. You need what? No, you need to use multiple. You need to use multiple different surfaces, different pieces that you sew together to create the final 3D model. Which is the same with pants, for example. Pants need seams to look realistic, because otherwise, in real life you don't really have just like this pant surface that just exists and is immediately put together in this three-dimensional form. It is first just this sort of fabric that you can put on the ground in a 2D fashion, I guess you could say, that then gets sewn together in a way where it creates the shape of whatever it's trying to, whatever it is, whatever piece of clothing it is. So the pants definitely work better now. They look more like pants. They're not perfect, but they're better. We could maybe add a little bit more here. Just pull this out some more. We can see this stretching there, which is okay though. It's just a rough sketch for now. So we can work with some, I guess, zigzag there. Okay. Maybe we can lower them even more. Give them this sort of, I don't care look. There you go. Okay. So we have the pants right there. let's go to the next one, which is the... Whoa. Let's go to... what do we even need? You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and just inflate this real quick so that we can add rough seam lines already. There you go. There you go. Perfect. And then we can use the crease brush to add the general seam length that we need. So we have one piece, which is sort of the, whatever you want to call it, like that is right here. It's kind of hard, you know, this sort of ball protection or panty part, whatever, whatever you want to call it. I think it's in the back as well. Do we have a different one for males? I don't think so. No. Problem is we don't really have a good, we don't have a back shot of it. Let me look at jeans real quick. Jeans. How are they cut together? Okay. Doesn't seem like that there's a seam in the middle. Oftentimes that's the case. For this one, it doesn't seem like that is there. No, it isn't. Okay. So we have sort of this shape right here. Hello. There you go. This shape. There you go. We go to the back and then we have this side. So how do we I guess we can just do this. I think that could be a good shape overall. I think that looks okay. If we go too high, this probably looks quite weird. If you go too low, this could look kind of weird. So we're gonna stay there. Creating the basic seam here. It's probably way too big, but it's just a rough sketch. There you go. Okay. Do we need something here? I guess. What about this? That looks pretty good, I think. There you go. Okay. Let's get to the next piece, which is right here. So they have this sort of cut down here, which kind of creates an inside pocket. Let's see. So it's sort of layered in a way where it goes into the middle here. And then there's another one coming from the back like this. There you go. Perfect. Germany's cool. I mean, I don't have anything to complain about, so yeah, I guess. Germany is cool. Germany's, you know, my dad has stuff to complain about, I guess, because of politics, but I'm not really that much into politics, so I don't really think about it that much. So yeah, Germany's pretty cool. I can't really compare it to any other, I guess, you know, any other like country, because I never really been in any other countries. Well, I've been, you know, when I went on vacation, but not really when I I never really lived somewhere else for a long time. So, from my perspective, Germany's pretty cool. I have everything that I need currently, so I have nothing to complain about. How about South Africa? Do you have everything, or is South Africa cool? Politics is something very difficult. Everyone has different opinions, and there's also a lot of corruption. I prefer to live selling cloth and cloth hides to that. Yeah, it always seems like politics is necessary, but the more you go into it, or the more you devote your time into it, the more it kind of becomes miserable. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. So we have this skin poking through here. That's what I'm doing here right now. It's hard to model with this low resolution, but that's okay. There you go. Easy. Okay. Let's add the seam line that I see here. No, that is actually the one that I see here. Hold on. It is right there. There you go. I think I need to pull it. No, that's not. No, that's not the one that I mean. Hold on. Oh, okay, now I get it. We don't have one right there. It's further up. It is somewhere over here. There it is. There you go. That's better. Yeah, politics, you know, that's why I try to stay away from it. Not really trying to get into any political stuff. Not really anything I'm interested in. Doesn't really seem like a fun place to be in. Okay, there you go. So we have the beginning for the legs. Of course, the seam lines are way too big, but as we said before, it is just the rough sketch. So for the side, we have another piece right here, which goes from, hold on. Oh, so we have a difference here, okay. It is right here and goes from, seems like the two models are different actually. There you go. Okay, fixed it. And then we can we go from here downwards like this, and then upwards again. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Aligns perfectly with this sort of line there. Insane. There you go. Politics is not very good of an example to be Venezuela or Cuba, but I like it because this line is for the S dude, and if you're in constant information with the gringos, they think you're a Steve Jobs, something like that. Yeah, I can see that. I can see being like very like knowing something very rare that not a lot of people know can probably be very helpful. Very maybe even sought after. Okay, so we have this piece. There's not really that much more here. This is just one piece of leather there, so that's good. Let's go to, we don't really have a backside, so we just work with what we have here. This I think looks pretty good. We're gonna smooth this out because of the inflation, we kind of wrapped this on top of, or we kind of lapped it on top of each other. Smoothing it should kind of relieve that. There you go. Okay. There you go. Just gonna make everything a little bit thinner. I think that can help with the overall look, especially down here. Because we add so many layers on top, we need to make the first layer sort of thin. There you go. Perfect. Up here. Okay. Bring the dumper more in. Okay. Let me quickly look at some references for, I guess, male jeans. I'm looking for the back side, not the front side. There it is. Well, the back side doesn't exist, apparently. Dude, it can't be so hard to just find a backside view of pants. No, I'm thinking of renting web pages for $50 a month, but it is difficult at the same time since people don't care about the internet. I can see that. Yeah. I mean, they will probably in the future, so it might still be good to do that, so you can prepare for when they care, you know? Not only can you be the one that knows all that stuff, you know, that knows about it, you can also be the... You know, you can be the specialist, but you can also be the one, you know, already working with it when others just join. Okay, perfect. So the pants look pretty good for now. We can give them more detail later. Do we need to do anything in the back or down there? No, we don't really need to. No, there's one thing we need to do. So it seems like we have a sort of second layer here, which starts somewhere over here. Like this. There you go. There you go. So I'm just trying to reinforce the differences here between the two pieces. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. It actually goes up as far as I can see. So it goes, connects with the top piece right here. Like this. It's kind of weird, but we're just going to add it like this. There you go. Perfect. Okay. I think so now I can't learn much from web pages. I have to make 3 video games in less than a month since I have a debt with the government. Okay. That sounds like a challenge, like an interesting challenge. Do you have ideas already for games? I guess you're planning on selling them to make money, to repay your debt. Pretty interesting. Sounds like a pretty intense time frame to create 3 games. Okay. I think the first layer for the pants look pretty good. We could give it some more detail, but I want to, you know, what do you call it? Like, I want to block them out first. Okay. Let's go to the next piece. And the next piece can probably be on the boots. Yeah, I think we can work with the boots. Okay. So for the boots are quite big. Next thing we need to do, hold on, we need to first increase the subdivisions. Then we need to use the inflate brush, of course. There you go. Okay, let me smooth the toes. We don't need the toes, so we just smooth them out. Of course, the geometry kind of keep them there anyway, but that's okay. There you go. So I'm trying to put in the basic shape first, and then we can go into modeling, or, you know, adjusting the shape some more. Right now I'm just kind of trying to put everything over the foot and changing the general surface. There you go. Let's go in here and use the crease brush to kind of add some structure to it. There you go. Reinforcing the edges because it's going to have a sole in the end, so this has to be quite flat at the bottom. There you go. Let's do the same at the top. You can see how much the geometry sort of dictates the structure, just of how the edges flow. That is why it's so important to create good retopology, edge flow. Of course, I'm not saying that because of what we do here, because of how we sort of, create the clothing out of the sort of skin geometry, but more because of the same will be the case for subdivisions. So if you add the subdivision modifier, for example, you will get a similar result with that. So making sure that everything looks good when it comes to the edge flow before, or while retopologizing, it's important to support the details of your character, so that once you're done, you don't run into any problems when it comes to that. This sounds weird. If you want to receive your degree, you have to have 80 hours of work in the community. That an authorized person, such as a teacher or a foundation, signs some papers for you. And well, they told me that if I could make 3 video games, they would save me that debt, but I had to do them before a month. Okay, that sounds like an interesting challenge. Do you think you can do it? Do you think you have the, do you have enough time? Sounds like quite a, close call to me. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I can't really estimate, there are different types of games, of course, and different, ways to make games, so. What do you think? Do you think you can do it? Oh. Okay. What is that? I can't really see the detail there. Okay. Looks kind of weird. I need to pull this closer in, I think. That's definitely better. We can see the toes though, so we need to pull it out more. This looks so weird. Yet shoes are quite detailed, so it gets kind of hard to really get a good base, I guess, going. There you go, pushing it in some more because it's quite far off. There's supposed to be some sort of seam line, not really some sort of hill. Yeah, but of course the blockout face is quite big and wide spanning, you could say, in terms of its you know, you can't really, with so much resolution, you can't really look into too much. You can't really add the details. So you try to imitate the details with, I guess, bigger changes or bigger details. I guess the details get bigger because the resolution is, well, smaller, I guess. Or, well, yeah, bigger, basically. This looks so weird. Too many details. Yeah, you know, now we're getting into the more detailed phase before we just, I guess, sort of just model the body, but now we actually look into how the clothing looks. And you know, clothing can be quite complicated. Multiple layers and multiple fabrics and all that stuff. So we actually have to go quite deep here, quite detailed. Okay. They are quite wide. I think I'm going to make them a little bit thinner. There you go. The first layer just kind of looks weird, but I think that's okay. There you go. Okay. Hold on. The sole looks so high now. Hold on. Oh yeah, right. Hold on. You have these raised tips, of course, that most shoes have to kind of roll off your foot. There you go. Okay. We're gonna leave them there for now. I think it could also look weird because we don't really have any other clothing, so we're gonna go to the rest first. Okay, let's go to the chest plate. We already see that we have, oh, we need to adjust the, I guess you could say, under armor. Let me adjust that real quick. There you go. Pull it out and then pull it underneath the pants. Perfect. So now we have the under armor actually covering the entire upper body, going into the pants as they should be. Perfect. We could probably smooth them out some more here. At least a little bit, you know, in this area here. Okay, the front looks good to me. I don't see anything poking through here. Perfect, okay. Let's go to the chest plate. Oh, we can probably go in here as well. Okay, I already have the mechanics of a game ready. It is only to wait for them to send me information that they want it to be the story of the game. The second I also have no information, but they say that it will be very simple, that they are only questions and answers that they want to do something great. So I had to leave a Godot and go to Unity to be able to do it. Yesterday I saw it, but believe me, there are thousands of guys looking whatever to do something that is worth at least an hour. Just imagine 4 Latinos fighting each other to paint a wall and receive their title after 40 walls. So it's more that they actually give you the idea for the game, and that you're just supposed to, I guess, you know, do their request. Let's say you're not supposed to come up with 3 different games. You get a certain idea or you get a certain task and you're supposed to do that. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Let's go to the under armor. I mean the other armor. There you go. Not under, but other. Number 2. There you go. Sculpting. Perfect. Oh, maybe that's too far away. That's pretty good. The rest we can just pull out. Something like that, sorry for so much text in Spanish, is short, although that explains why they say that Spanish is fast. Yeah, it seems like every language, when you translate it, there are some things that you can explain better in like the other language. But I think in some instances English is faster, in some instances Spanish is faster. Just kind of comes down to the you know, what you're explaining. I think, you know, in some instances one's better, one in some instances the other one. Oftentimes, of course, people say, well, you speak so fast, just because if you don't understand a language, it always seems like you're speaking fast because you can't really keep up with what they say. Well, because you don't know what they say. So you're just trying to, you're just trying to understand, but you can't because it's too fast. And you probably can't anyway. So they say that you're speaking fast, although it just sounds like that because they don't really know what you're saying. Once you kind of know what they say, then it's easier. Or then you know that they're not speaking super fast. Okay, there you go. So the chest plate is quite simple, but it has some quirks to it. So first of all, we need to keep the chest structure in here. We also need this sort of dent here in the middle, although we probably need to pull out the chest armor a little bit more. We need a little bit more room here. Then we smooth it. Okay, let's bring in the main seams that we need here. There you go. That's where the geometry can really help you in creating these seams, especially if you, of course, model in the direction that the seams go. You can see how easy we can just add these seams right there. We need a few more though. There's one right there. Hold on. References, I need you. Okay. You see how hard it gets if it's not in the same direction as the edge loops. It gets kind of zigzaggy and it's hard to see. But it looks still pretty good. Okay. And then we have another one. Hold on. Which is right here in the middle. Which is hard to see. There it is. Welcome. Shao? No. Sorry, I can't really pronounce that. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed your Monday. Hopefully you enjoyed your weekend. Currently working on this armor for the new Reaper class from Final Fantasy XIV that you can see here. There you go. Currently blocking out the clothing basically. Okay. We can see that it still looks like a belly button, but that's okay. That's just because of the geometry. We can't really do much about it. There you go. There you go. Okay. There you go. Perfect. Smooth it. And there you go. So we have the chest piece right here. Let's go to the next one, which is... so I'm thinking about maybe making the stomach a little bit flatter. That could help overall with the figure. Right now it's quite big. Maybe, yeah, we'll see about that. We're gonna care about that later. Let's go to the next piece first. The next piece would probably be the arm braces. Everything else seems to be quite good. We have the back plate. Let's do the back plate first. For the back plate, we can actually be a little bit more, I guess, I guess we can interpret some more. First of all, we need to see it. How about we pull it out? There you go. And then we need to make it smoother. It's supposed to be a back plate, so it's supposed to be perfectly representing the muscles. Let's first kind of clean this up, make it smoother. Excuse me. It's quite far from the body now. Maybe we can push it in some more. In just a second, you can see how far off it is. What if we bring it back in? Let's see how far we can push it. Oh, quite far. There you go. Perfect. The back plate probably can be closer, especially here. Good thing is the back plate isn't really that visible anyway, so we don't really need to pay too much attention to it. But at least, you know, we can give it a little bit of love. What is that? What are you doing? Why are you curling? Get back there. Where you belong. Perfect, okay. Okay, let's give it some seams and then we're pretty good, I think, on this end. We probably just need one in the middle here first. Let's first create the seam that goes through on the out, like goes, or reinforce the edge to make it look more like some sort of fabric or leather or whatever, rather than just this 2D plane. It'll look rough, but that's okay. Pretty bumpy. There you go. Oh, I have an idea. Hold on. What we could do, though, is we could create one in the middle here. Good thing is symmetry helps us stay in the middle here. That's good. There you go. That's the middle piece. And then what we can do is we can come from the outside and do this. I think that can look pretty good. There you go. Maybe we can do the same up here, like this. Yeah, I think that's okay. Actually, hold on. How about that? There you go. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so we have the two protection plates now. The only thing that is really missing now are the gloves and the arm braces. So let's do those now. There you go. First we need to see them so we can work on them. Okay. Let me see. Good. Can I have a good look here? They're quite small as far as I can see. Quite short, let's say. They go from here. First we need to reinforce this edge. And then you have this sort of triangle shape. We have a big spike right here that then goes back to here. Hold on. It's hard to do, although, hold on. It's quite a hard piece, so we need to make it quite sturdy. Can't rotate that much. So we kind of have to remove it from the arm rotation that we had there beforehand. There you go. And then we can bring it in. Kind of goes like this. There you go. So this is the overall shape of the arm brace. Not perfect, but it's a good start. There you go. Okay. Oh, the inside looks weird. We need some more room here. Perfect. There you go. There you go. Okay. So the first layer is pretty much there. The next step would be to add some more detail to them. First thing what I want to do here is I want to probably go into the under armor and just give it some seams as well, because right now it's just basically one piece, and as I said before, making something look more realistic means giving it seams, for example. So we can go to Pinterest, for example, and we can look for bodysuit. I think that's what they're called. Hold on. Nope, that's not what they're called, I guess. Full. There it is. Can we get one where we can see the seams? This one's pretty good. So I'm going to show you what oh, hold on, I'm going to save it. There you go. So if you look at this, you can see how the seams kind of where the seams go to, or where they are. You can see one is at the neck to separate this piece here, or the head part. Then we have one right there for where the shoulder is. We also have one on the opposite side of the arm to kind of split this arm piece, basically. There's nothing for the arms or for the gloves, I guess you could say. We probably also don't need one because we will not connect the gloves to the under armor, so that's okay. And then we can see it all goes all the way down to the legs. We need it to go to the hips. So the seams that we need to include are quite simple. So let's do that now. Oh, there you go. And that should make it look way, way better. Make it look more like clothing, actually. So let's do that now. Why is it intersecting so much? Oh, I know why. Hold on. There you go. Okay. Time for some seams. So the seam here will be right here. It's hard to do because it's already so close to the surface, but we can just use the, so we can just, I guess, add instead of subtract. There you go. To create a seam line. Like this. We also have one coming from here into the middle to separate the back from the front. Perfect. We also have one, of course, coming from here in the middle and going downwards. We can also follow the geometry that we have here. Like this, all the way down. Doing the same for the arms, and then we basically have everything that we need. And there you go. Now we have some more detailed clothing. Okay, so everything has some structure now. So now we can go into the next step, which would probably be just adding overall some more detail to everything. I plan on, I guess, re-topologizing it anyway, every piece, so we can probably now go into dynamic topology. We don't really need to retain the structure, because the structure doesn't really follow, the geometry doesn't support the structure that we try to create here. For like the seams, for example, need their own sort of flow to go with them, so we can't really use the geometry that we have here. But it's a good starting point to start off of. Hold on, let me just adjust one thing. Oh, we need the gloves as well. We need to adjust the gloves first before we continue with the rest. Okay. There you go. Let's smooth it out. We probably also have some seams for the gloves. I don't know where they are, so I need to look them up. But we definitely have some here. So once we kind of fix the unrealistic, I guess, sort of pieces here, we can go into that. Okay, let's look at the let's look at some reference real quick. There you go. It is currently 11 p.m. or in 6 minutes it's 11 p.m. What time is it for you? Hold on. What do we need? We need, oh, glove. $3:54. Well, that's quite early still. Which means I'm in the future. Welcome. You're speaking with someone in the future. Hope you feel privileged. It's quite good here. Quite dark though. I wish it wasn't so dark. Okay. I'm looking at leather gloves right now. Just gonna see how they're being sewn together. They're quite complex actually. Actually no, they're quite simple. Okay. Okay, let me put those seams in here for as well. Oh, hello. There you go. They're right here, and then on the inside we have a connection. So this one, as far as I can see, creates a circle like this. There you go. So that the thumb is disconnected, like this. Perfect. And then the rest is basically together, as I can see. There's not really a seam except for here. Like this. There you go. Okay. I think that's everything we really need. Let me look at the, okay. Oh, now I get it. Hold on. We actually need to go in here and do it differently in here on the inside. The inside is a little bit more complex, but not that crazy. At least on the glove that I could see here. One day of this day I'm gonna send to your house a panella, and I want to see how you would cook that. I'm not a good cook, okay, so don't expect much. I cooked before, but pretty simple stuff. So I'm not an idiot when it comes to cooking, but I'm also not the best. I always have to follow a recipe, otherwise I'm lost. So you basically have like two layers here. There's like this inner piece there. Not inner piece as this like mental piece, but on the inside, between the fingers. There you go. Okay. I think we're good. Dude, this is so thick. Oh, but that's okay. We could maybe also add these sort of lines here. There you go. Just to kind of give it a little bit more detail. Okay, so now we have the under armor. I wonder if we can actually work with the subdivisions that we have here. I think not. I think these subdivisions are too... the structure doesn't really work. No, it won't. It will not. Okay, let me sit down real quick. You only need to break the block of panela with a river stone and try to boil it and not burn yourself. Okay. Sounds pretty simple. Okay. There are a few more details that I would like to add before we go into the actual detailing phase, which are there's one more piece that we need to remove basically. There's this Under Armour piece, and then we have one. The Under Armour is actually quite complex, so we need to look into that real quick. So yeah, we actually don't have a lot. Oh, hold on. This piece needs to be pretty low. Like up down here. There you go, that's better. Probably a little bit thinner though. Okay. Adjusting the shape here, the curve. Better fit into the original. Okay, perfect. That's better now. Okay, now we need to go into the undergarment. We need to remove some pieces here. So first things first, it is sectioned into multiple pieces actually. The pieces are quite simple, but they still need to be separated. First things first, there's this sort of connection right there to the chest piece with some sort of buckle. Everything like down here is removed so we can see the skin like this. There you go. Quite revealing. There you go. Oh, that was too much. Perfect, that's better. Okay. Then we have the piece actually goes from here, probably from over here. Oh. Why do I, oh. From here to the back, like this. Then it goes from here down there. So it kind of meets here. And then we have another piece. Dude, it's so weird. It's hard to see with all the weird references that we have here, or I have here. It's not really that visible, so I can kind of only interpret it semi on my own and kind of work with what I have here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to remove this. Go down here, like this. Then we also need to remove it down here, as far as I can see. It connects to the arm, like this, in this sort of bow. And back here, it does the same. It, wait. We have a seam right here. That then goes like this. That's quite a lot though. I want to bring some back here. We can probably do it like this. That's probably better. There you go. There you go. I think that works quite well. Okay. Okay. There you go. We have the base. We could... No, we don't really need to remove that. We can now go into more detail. So we can actually make this look more like the armor that it's supposed to be. So how about we do that now? What I want to do now is I want to actually save this as a new version. Let's say version 2A. And then we can begin the retopology process. Do we actually, do we need to? Or can we? No, I think we do. Before we do that though, I think what I want to do is I want to create thickness first, so that we don't need to do it later. I think that's better. So yeah, let's do that now. So I'm gonna apply the subdivision here. I'm gonna use a solidify modifier and make this solid. Doesn't have to be super thick, maybe like this. I think that's pretty good. Yep. Apply, and now we can sculpt. Let me just quickly separate this from everything else. There you go. And now we can sculpt. One thing that I want to do is I want to smooth the inside out first. We need front faces only. There you go. At least the seams. Wait. I think why does it tell me that front faces only is on, but it doesn't work? What are you doing? Why? Well, this works, but why does smoothing not work? That's so weird. Is it really the radius? I don't think so. It is it? No. It is. Why? It's front faces only. So what I'm doing now is basically after I sort of created the base mesh, now we can go into detailing the clothing, excuse me. So because the geometry doesn't really support the structure of the armor, we have to retopologize afterwards. So what I'm doing now is I am basically using dynamic topology to create the final look, so that we can then afterwards, you know, we can then afterwards retopologize it. So now I'm going to use dynamic topology. Let's see how much topology we get when we use 50. Oh, that's quite a lot. Perfect. Okay, so the goal now is to sculpt the details in. So we're going to begin with the seams probably. Let's see. Hold on. First of all, I'm going to remove this. This looks super weird. Okay. So let's begin with the chest piece. The chest piece is quite detailed, so we can do this probably first. First things first that I want to do is I want to reinforce the edge. So now that we've, you know, as I said before, that we have laid the groundwork, we can now work on the details, the actual details, so that it actually looks like armor, I guess, not just like some sort of toy. That's the goal now. So I'm going to begin with the basic steps, like for example the seams, and then afterwards we can go into more high-level stuff, like the smaller details. So this is arguably the interesting part, where we actually add detail to all the pieces. Where it starts to begin to look like the actual armor. And then once we get into the actual retopology, I will bank on the capabilities of my retopology plugin to provide good results. I think it will, because hard surface, it's a little bit easier than stuff like skin, for example. Skin has very, you know, the geometry needs to support the way it works, or the way it is supposed to move. With hard surface, it always kind of stays in its in the same shape, so we don't really need to look into deformations that much. When it comes to leather armor, of course, it could be a little bit different, but of course, this sort of chest plate isn't really, for example, the chest plate doesn't really move that much. When it comes to the gloves, maybe that's a little bit different, but we can look at that once we get there. We can also create seams by using the mask brush. Hold on, if we use detail flood fill, for example, 50, so we apply it to everything. Now everything at 50. Let's see what it looks like when we draw here. Oh, it's quite fine. So what we can do here is we can, for example, if we wanted to, we can go in here. We can create a nice shape, maybe a little bit bigger. Let me actually make the fall off constant. Let's try that again. So we can draw like this, and then we can invert it. We can use the inflate brush and pull it down. And there you go. We have some nice, you know, some nice details if we want to. But we don't need that, so let's get rid of it. What happened? What? Why? Okay, then I'll just get rid of it myself then, I guess. Sometimes dynamic topology is just, I don't even know, just loses it and just destroys the entire sculpt. Fortunately, you just have to re-enable dynamic topology for it to work. There you go. Okay. So to make smooth, straight lines, we can also use the, what is it called? We can go to stroke, space. We can set that to line. There you go. Spacing looks good to me. Maybe even the 1. And then we can set it to sharp. If we now use it, you can see what happens. There you go. So we can use that for the middle piece, for example. There you go. Doesn't really do that much because it's already there. But we can use it for the opposite as well. There you go. We can make it a little bit sharper. Let's see if that works. There you go. Okay. What is that? You mean the mask brush? Can be quite helpful. There you go. Kind of cleaning this up. This looks kind of weird because of this sort of S shape there. Now it looks better, more like a chest plate. Going to smooth everything so it, you know, looks smoother, less choppy. There's also another brush that could do that entirely over the entire sculpt. But if I do it manually, I have some more control over, I guess, the changes that the smooth brush does. There you go. Okay. Oh, we need to change it back. There you go. Yeah, I just wanted to show that you can, for example, bring in like ornamental stuff by just using mask, painting them in first, and then using the using any brush to kind of, you know, dig in to create this sort of deeper part in the sculpt. We could do that for the seams here actually. That's why I kind of remove them right now. Hold on, let me show you what I mean. So once we got rid of all the seams, I can show you what I mean with using the mask brush for the seams. There you go, perfect. So now we can use the mask brush first to draw out the seam line here. What we can do is also we can go into the stroke settings here. We can, I think, use stabilize stroke. Now if we draw it, we can see this line that sort of drags the line behind, which creates nice and smooth curves, for example. We can see how wide it is. We need to make the stroke a little bit thinner here. That's too thin. That's too thick. That's pretty good. So we use it. Oh. Oh, that's not good. Let's try a few times. Nope. Nope. That's pretty good. Oh, what is that? Why are you disconnected? I know why. Hold on. There's probably not enough geometry here, right? Now it should work. Oh well. Let's try again. Why are there these weird problems? Wow. There you go. Let's just manually increase the size a little bit. Oh. There you go. Okay, perfect. So now we can go and invert it, and then we can use the inflate brush. Now if we inflate it or deflate it, we can see how it goes into the mesh. There you go. We have some nice clean lines there, which we can then also reinforce by just using these sculpt brushes. We can now just follow what we've already sculpted and create a nice line here. Nice seam. Reinforcing the structure. There you go. Do the same to the opposite side, so out, to make the seam even more visible. There you go. Perfect. There you go. Perfect. Perfect seams. Flawless. Okay. Let's go to the next step. Actually, I think this is a good point to end it today, so that we can then tomorrow go into this step some more. You know, we need to give everything some more detail. So I think that's a good next step for tomorrow. Today we basically blocked out everything so that we can tomorrow detail these blockouts. And then once we have the detailed blockouts, we can then retopologize again. Fun. Pose and do the last phase of the clothing. That's gonna be the plan. Oh, we can do the same here as well. Hold on. So we're gonna select it. Go around the edge. Create a nice border here. Not too thick. Okay. I'm just trying to remove this side because it's not supposed to go in. Basically, it's just supposed to go, just supposed to stay on the other side. As long as I'm not removing the mask, we can just remove it here on the side. Okay, perfect. Oh, okay. There you go. Finish the piece down here. And then we can do the same that we've done before. We can grab the good old inflate brush, invert, and do the same again. There you go. Now we can reinforce it a little bit. Fix some areas here, as you can see. It kind of still went overboard. So smoothing it out should help get rid of these artifacts. There you go. We have a nice border around the outside. We still see some weird spots here that need to be reinforced. There you go. Okay, I think that's a good beginning. Let's go back to here. No, there you go. Okay, so this will be where we're going to continue tomorrow. We finished the basic layout. We need to now detail the thing out some more, and then we can go to the next piece. I think overall the pieces overall aren't that detailed, so it shouldn't take ages, which is good. And then all we need to do is add the second layer after we post it, of course, and retopologized. One thing that I want to try real quick is I want to see what it looks like if I use my retopology add-on right now. Just gave me an ice cream and I just looked and I have a big problem with Unity. No development without problems. Development is basically just development solving. I mean, problem solving. Okay, so how much faces do we have here? We have 366,000. So what I like to do is 366,000 divided by 4. 91,000. We say, do we need adaptive size? Yeah, let's use it. Sorry. Symmetry, yep. We need detect hard edges by angle. Okay. Let's see what happens. I don't know if it's doing something. Oh, it's lagging. Okay. Hopefully it's not crashing everything. Let me just quickly stop my recording before it's entirely gone. Oh, there you go. Is it gone? Is it done? Yeah, it is. Oh. Okay. We can see some interesting... Well... Yeah, I think the geometry doesn't really recognize the angles just yet. I think in some areas it does, like here, but in others it doesn't, so we need to reinforce it a little bit. Here you can see it's still kind of weird. So yeah, we still need to do some work here, but it at least works. I wonder what happens if we make the resolution even lower. Hold on. What if we set it to 366,000 divided by 8? You do a good job. I mean, we're still in the beginning, so there's a lot we can mess up. But so far, it went pretty well. It's already lagging again. Oh, there it is. Oh, I mean, this looks pretty good. Yeah. So I think if we, you know, put some more time in this, detail it out some more, give it some more structure, reinforce the edges some more, I think we can use retopology, the retopology add-on, to basically do the retopology for us. The problem will be these diagonal pieces here. I think for these ones we really need to reinforce the edges so that it recognizes them as edges. We can see it here. We use detect hard edges by angle, and you know, if it doesn't detect them as hard edges, you know, then it can't really you can't really give them good topology. But you can see how, well, not really. No, not really. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that's what we're gonna continue with tomorrow. So we can probably use this this plugin to at least save us some time in retopology. Okay, this is gonna be the stream for today. We're gonna continue working on this tomorrow. We have quite a lot of pieces that we need to create, so there's no time to waste. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening and chatting. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and maybe I'll see you next time. Until then, take care.